So on your album Color Space, that just came out just what was it, about the middle of last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
very, very, very good album.
Thank you. That's really nice. And I have great respect for your taste in music. So
Yeah,
it means a lot.
it's a very, very it's an awesome album. Um, I know I was always giving you crap about it, going, "Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up!" But it was worth the wait. A very good album.
That's good to hear.
Really appreciate that.
We had tracked all the songs, and it just took a long time to work through it and do some overdub stuff and then go back and do the mix.
We actually switched softwares towards the end of it. Actually, we did most of the album in GarageBand, the free software that comes with Apple stuff, and we eventually upgraded to Logic because I was just not happy with the mix.
Yeah,
the
we
way
had
it was
good
functioning.
we had good recordings, but you were going through them and like, I just can't do enough with this software.
Yeah,
I've got to
especially
upgrade.
all the stuff in like the bass register, like the lower mid to the bass and the bass drum as well. I just couldn't get them sounding the way I was happy with on different speaker systems. So we had to upgrade to a better software because Logic is actually good.
It's comparable to Pro Tools, but not as expensive.
Right.
It gave him so much more range of what he could do, though, and so we were working through the songs. We were getting close to having it like we wanted it, and we had one song we had recorded that were thinking wasn't sounding like what we wanted to sound like, and that was
Hater.
that was Hater, and it was like, this just is not what it should be. It's not clear enough. It's too buzzy. The guitar tone was maybe too much like some of the other songs, and it's really a different kind of song, so it needed a little bit of a different sound.
Yeah, because we originally tracked it with the same guitar tone that you hear on like He Growls and stuff, and In the Distance, where I think it sounds really good because it's like this crunchy metal guitar tone. But Hater, it has such a kind of bluesy, kind of classic Kiss riff to it that it was kind of getting lost in the amount of distortion we were using. We decided to go back and re-record it with a slightly less aggressive guitar tone, which actually made it sound better.
Yeah, so there at the end of the mixing process, we went back and recorded all the guitar tracks over, and even added another track that actually had Connor playing on it. So there's actually one of the guitar tracks is Connor.
Yeah,
Because he's quite a guitar player himself. Actually, he really doesn't need any of us except to pretty much do most of it, I think. Lyrics, maybe that's it. I don't think he hasn't written lyrics yet, so maybe that's the only thing I've left that I'm.
I also don't sing anything like you, so it would sound a bit different if I was.
I guess so.
There were just a bunch of clones of me on stage.
That's what we're gonna work on that for the next album. Just getting a lot of clones of Connor, so we can
Not do anything.
yeah, just have like a full like basically orchestra of him on stage. That'd be pretty metal, right?
Pop artist.
Yeah, like a pop artist.
Okay.
It's all clones of one guy.
Okay.
It will be.
Oh, great.
The technology is getting there.
A series of holograms.
Yeah, you can do the hologram thing. Yeah.
Bad analogy in the
Whatever sells a ticket.
Right.
I
Yeah.
will say, despite the whole things about me being able to do stuff, is like we write the songs really as a group.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a few of the songs I've kind of written the instrumentals for. I think Seek and Hide and We All Bleed Red, I think I wrote those. The instrumental side of it entirely myself. But for the most part, almost all the songs are written collectively by the group, with everybody kind of dipping their own contribution in. Sometimes it starts with the guitar riff, sometimes it starts with the drum beat, sometimes it even starts with the bass riff. But I don't think it would be the same album if it wasn't the three of us making it.
Yeah, because something crazy happens with the combination of minds, where it's the best of everyone all mashing together into one thing. I mean, one thing you get from the singer-songwriter style is you can get some really cohesive sounding songs and some songs that have like a really direct vision, but something very different, something very cool happens with the combination of three minds.
Yeah, I love that part of the creative process, that coming together and producing something you wouldn't have thought of on your own. So many times I'll come up with a riff and Carl will say, well, instead of going there, instead of playing that chord, how about this one at the end of the riff, you know? And it's like, wow, I think he did that on He Growls. I think the basic riff, he came up with a chord change that wasn't in the original riff.
Well, you had the entire pattern worked out for playing it, and there were just a couple chords that I changed, but it was overall the patterns that you came up with.
I think the Beatles are a great example of that, to bring up an example completely beyond
Let's
us.
go way back in time.
They're a great example because, I mean, you listening to Beatles songs, you can tell like, oh well, this is a John song and this is a Paul song, and so on. But when they weren't all working together and when they were doing their solo acts, it was still never quite the same. None of them were ever quite a Beatles song.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the Beatles in their solo careers after they break up, they did great work.
Yeah.
There was just there's something.
But it wasn't the same.
There's
It wasn't the same.
No, not at all. I think there's some sort of synergy that happens when you put personalities together in a creative situation, and it works in a lot of things. I think it works in art sometimes, and music, and all kinds of things. But it's really interesting to see what comes out the other end when you just start working together to come up with something.
Yeah,
And you end up with something at the end of the day that you didn't imagine before.
yeah. I mean, the nice thing is, we're not going to get sick of each other and break up either, because we've, been in the same house our whole lives. So
Maybe maybe that's going to get us sick of each other and
yeah,
So you guys are in a band, you broke up. It's like, no, we were a family and we got sick of each other. No,
yeah.
but we're still a band. Yeah, the band.
We're a band, but we don't speak.
We kept the band.